Evening YouTube. So I'm having a night in tonight with the Rank Audio RX250A, or the Rotel, as we all know it's made by Rotel really. So this is the Rank Audio RX250A. It's from 1973, but I'm not sure what power this is because I looked it up again tonight before doing this video, and some places say it's 10 watts, some places say it's 15, and some places say it's 20, so I'm not sure what it is. And Google AI said it is 250 watts. So according to Google AI, this little Rank Audio is one of the most powerful vintage receivers that was ever made. So tonight, this is the first time I am listening and trying out this little Rank Audio because it has just been repaired. I bought it as a non-working receiver. It's all been repaired. It seems to be working fine now. So tonight is the first time I am having a listen to it. And I've been like testing out the inputs and stuff like that. The only thing I haven't tested on it is the phono input. Everything else seems to be working good. So as usual, I've got my Arcam Alpha CD player plugged into it, and as this is a first test, I've got it connected up to my Bowers and Wilkins solid speakers, because I've had these speakers for years and I know them inside out, and I always use these when I'm testing something out for the first time, because listening to something through these solids, I really can get a good idea of what the amplifier or receiver is all about. That's why I always use these when I'm doing my first test. And I've been playing through that lot tonight. I've been running through all them CDs there. So I have been in here listening to this Rank Audio for a good 3 or 4 hours tonight before doing this video. And everything on it does seem to be working properly. The loudness button's working good. I have had a couple of sets of speakers on it, so I've tried speakers 1, speakers 2, they are both working. The bass pot's working really nice. Same with the treble. And that treble really seems to add a ton of treble to it. Balance is working nice on it. Smooth as anything, going from one side to the other. So all the pots are working really good on this old receiver. It's all working good. Like I said, the only thing I haven't tried is the phono input, so I don't know if that's working or not because I haven't tried it. And I would say with this one, everything inside it is working good. This hasn't got no bad caps or anything on it because it sounds too good for that. If it had something wrong with it, like a bad cap or something, when I listen to it through these solid speakers, I would pick that up because the sound wouldn't be that good. But the sound is really crystal clear and really nice on this Rotel, so I really don't think there is anything wrong with this now. And like I said, when I looked the power up on this one, I got 3 different power ratings on it. Some said it was 10, some said it was 15, some said it was 20. But after listening to it, and I have turned it up a little bit tonight, I wouldn't say it is 20. I think this thing is more like 10, maybe 15 watts. I don't think it is 20. And it's definitely not 250 like Google AI said. My sort of gut feeling on this one, after turning it up a bit and that, is it's about 10 watts. It could be 15 watts, but I really don't think it is 20. But don't take that as the gospel, it is just what I think. I could be wrong on that. This thing could be 20 watts, but to me it just seems less powerful than that. And by saying that, I'm not saying this thing is lacking power, because it is pretty loud, this thing. When I've had it turned up, it really has got plenty of power in it. And tonight I did have it turned up a bit because I was playing Shuckademus and Pliers, teased me through it, and I did have it cranked up a little bit, and it was pumping away nicely. It was not lacking power whatsoever, this little receiver, and it was giving me a really good bit of bass. Sounded good in the bass department, this receiver. The top end was sounding good, yeah, with Shuckademus going through it, this sounded like a decent little receiver. And then I had on the Police CD, so I had the Police running through it. Oh, and it was really rhythmical with the Police going. Yeah, the Police CD sounded really good through this one. And again, I'm getting a nice bit of thumping bass going on. The top end sounding good, the mid-range is sounding good. It's all happening and all sounding really decent. And the Police track I had a couple of times, and I turned it up the second time, was Message in a Bottle. And that sounded crystal clear. It really did sound good, Message in a Bottle. For a little budget receiver, this Rank Audio has got a decent sound to it. Because one of these receivers is really cheap, and you got to remember that. This is a right cheap one to buy. So, considering the price of this little Rank Audio, I really like it, and I really like the sound of it. It's got a nice sound to it, this has. It reminds me, well, it's gonna, innit? I've got an RX250A in my kitchen that I've had for years, and I like the sound of that little one. And this 250A really does sound like that little 150A. And the feeling I'm getting at the minute, although it's too early to say because I've only had this receiver going tonight, I'm sort of thinking that this 250A has got a little bit more bass to it than that 150. The top ends really do sound alike, but I just get the feeling that this 250 has got a little bit more thump behind it. So what else have I had on tonight? Right, I've had Nina Simone going, getting some nice female vocals going through it, testing out the top end. And yeah, Nina Simone again, it sounded really good on this little receiver. So I would say, if you're lucky enough to own one of these little receivers, I bet you like it. I bet you're happy with it. Because I'm happy with my one. It does sound good for what it is. And these speakers I've got it on tonight, they are sort of monitor speakers. They are really detailed. They pick up everything. So these are probably not the best to listen to this Rotel with. I think this Rotel will be more suited to like the Bang & Olustons. I think it'll sound really good, connect them little Bang & Olustons I've got up to it. Because they're really laid back, them Bang & Olustons. And I get the feeling that this Rotel will be more happier with a laid back speaker on it. It'll be more at home like that. And I found a set of speakers tonight on the computer that I reckon would work really well on this little receiver. So I clicked them in my watch list because I found a set of Wolfdale Super Lintons, the old ones. Now they're only local to me and they are collection only. So I might have a bid on them because the chances are, because they're collection only, they might not make that much money. And while I was on the computer, I did check the tracking on my latest buy, which is the 100 subs amplifier. And that is due out for delivery tomorrow. So that'll probably be the next video. As soon as that gets here, I'll do an unboxing on it. The 100 subs amp. And I'm calling it the 100 subs amp because a while ago on the channel, what I said I'd do was when I hit 100 subs, I will buy an amplifier to mark the occasion. So that's what I've done. I've tracked down an amplifier with 100 in its model number, and it is due out for delivery tomorrow. And I will do the same at 200. So as soon as the channel hits 200 subs, I will try and buy something with 200 in its model number to mark the occasion. But I don't think that video will be coming anytime soon, because it really did take ages to reach 100. So I think it's going to take a long time before we hit 200. So what else have I had tonight? Right, I've had that Blues Brothers soundtrack going on, bit of Sweet Home Chicago, but the one I played a couple of times and turned it up was Cab Calloway, Me Need a Moocher, because it's a really good song for testing out an amp or a receiver, because there is so much going on in that song. Some amps and receivers can really mess that song up, but I'll give it to the Rotel, because it did not mess that song up. It played it sweet as a nut. It did not miss a beat. It sounded so good. In fact, I was sitting on the sofa having a little sofa dance to it. Yeah, I was really enjoying myself. I was enjoying myself so much, in fact, that I poured myself a big rum and coke to celebrate, and then put some jazz CDs on. And I had Peggy Lee, Fever, and I turned that up a little bit. And I didn't think that this rank audio would do that song as good as it did. It surprised me how well it dealt with Peggy Lee's voice singing Fever. It really did do a good job. Same with Dina Washington, Call Me Irresistible. I had that on. And again, it dealt with it no problem. Her voice sounded lovely through the little rank audio receiver. And then I put on a real test for it, which is Billie Holiday, I Love You, Paul G. Now, it's a song that is quite quiet, so if the amplifier or receiver's got any background noise, you really can hear it. But there was none of that. This little rank audio is as quiet as a mouse. And all the piano and that in that song really was sounding good. I was getting more detail than I thought I would have out of this receiver. I didn't think this thing would be as good as what I think it is. Now, I can't say that for 100% yet. I've only had it on one set of speakers. But after my first night's listening to the little Rotel RX250A, I do really like it, and I do think it's decent. But only time will tell that, because I'll have to get it on a few other sets of speakers and see what it sounds like on them. So thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, and I shall see you next time.